It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
Williams back, looking right now, in trouble. TJ Watt gets it, flips it down, the ball is loose, and the Steelers have recovered in the end zone. It's a Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown as Herbig flops on top of the fumble caused by TJ Watt for the Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown.
Opening possession of overtime. Goff up under center, turns, gives to Gibbs. Gibbs hesitates.
What do you got, Gibbs?
45 to the 50. Right sideline 40. Jets on. There he goes.
What do you got?
Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
Shador on third down, throws it. Sampson to the flat. Sampson 35. Sampson 40. Sampson, first down. He's at the Raider 35. It's a foot race and he's gone. Dylan Sampson, touchdown.
Snap, Williams giving him Manungai. Mighty Manungai standing up in from the 2. Touchdown Bears, and a 30-21 lead over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Chiefs have never led in this football game. Ariza waits for the go signal. Butker's kick is good, and the Chiefs have not led in this game until now. They get a walk-off field goal in overtime.
Snap and hold, 42-yard kick from Aubrey. The Cowboys have won this football game. Butter. I don't know when they've won one that felt like this. 42 for Aubrey, and the Cowboys win 24-21.
Highlights around the NFL. The Eagles were up 21-0. It appeared that thing was over, and yet it was just getting started. So they dropped to 8-3, giving up 24 straight points to the Cowboys. You had that walk-off field goal, 3 overtime games. You have a favorite finish, most entertaining finish of the day, PK?
Well, I think the game you just mentioned. Being down by 21 and coming back all the way.
Doesn't happen in the NFL very often.
That isn't viewed as very good.
Cowboys get back to 500. They are 5-1. And for all the stress and anxiety we've heard around the Eagles, at 8-2, tied for the best record in the NFC, well, now they're 8-3. And now the critics really have something to say.
Oh, don't they?
Yeah, right?
There's so much ammunition.
What do you think South Jersey's like today, PK?
I think that they hope that the team is sold, and like Baltimore, they wait a couple years and get a new expansion team in and rebuild it from the ground up.
Seems a little over the top.
You haven't lived there.
That's true. Got me there. I don't think they want the Eagles to move. You heard Gibbs' touchdown run. He ran for over 200 yards, and the Lions beat the Giants 34-27. Jameis Winston throws for 366 yards, a huge number, but it's not enough. The Giants find a way to lose anyway. Chiefs are 6-5, hanging in there in the playoff race. They finally won a close game. They were great at that last year. They've been terrible at it this year, but they got 11 points in the fourth quarter, only 1 touchdown in the game, and yet they win 23-20. Keeping them afloat. The Bears are 8-3 now and beating the Steelers. They beat a team with a winning record. That has been a hard thing for them to do this year because they haven't played teams with winning records very often. But got the Steelers improved to 8-3, and they lead the division. Look at them go.
Well, they will in the playoffs.
Yep, true story. They are enjoying the fruits of that fourth-place schedule, as are the New England Patriots. And the Patriots win again, 9-2, tied for the best record in the NFL. Patriots flying. Do you think the Ravens, was that a depressing win, or hey, it's 5 in a row, who cares? Or is the struggle was real to get past the Jets? They eventually did 23-10.
I mean, it's the NFL. There's no such thing as style points or any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is winning and losing.
Rams won with style points, up 31-7 at the half. They're basically unstoppable. The only thing that stopped the Rams' offense was the Rams' defense. Getting that defensive score, they only had the ball one time in the first quarter, but they just kept scoring. Blow that thing wide open and beat the Bucs, who are 6-5 themselves. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah.
Avery Johnson in the pistol. Sends a man in motion. He'll hand it off, and this is Joe Jackson. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, to the 40, near side 30, to the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kansas State. Joe Jackson, an 80-yard run with 1:17 to go in the half.
Kansas State going for 2. Johnson is going to throw, and it's knocked away, deflected, and actually intercepted. There is a penalty flag. Returnable, and here goes Utah. Taylor Johnson. Avery Johnson trying to catch him. Taylor Johnson angling, and he's going to go all the way. Inside the 1 for Utah. Parker and Dampier. Parker in motion. Dampier keeps it. Dampier, touchdown, Utah!
The Utes didn't see any of that coming. Bunch of things happened in that game that nobody expected. 472 yards rushing for Kansas State. Utes rallying, take the lead in the third quarter. You think they're going to turn it around? And K-State goes screaming out in front by double digits again.
I think those yards by Kansas State were misleading. You take away the big runs, and what do they really have?
You take away 3 or 4 of those big runs? Or was it 5? I lost track.
10.
You take away those big runs.
Yeah, take away those 8 runs that the Cardinals scored in the 4th inning.
You had a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
You gave me something to do in the break. I'm going to take away the big runs and see what that adds up to.
That's what we do, right? Sports fans?
I saw Morgan Scalley walking off the field and congratulated him on the win, and all he did was just shake his head, look in his eyes. Oof.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Hey, just win.
There'll be an announcement today.
There will be?
Uh-huh.
What's that going to be?
It was a good run, Morgan.
It was a good run. Well, we did ask, and we can get into this later in the show, will Devin Dampier be able to throw the ball down the field? There'll be a point this season where they have to have that. That looked like a bad take for about 10 games. He just kept blowing people out or getting blown out. There wasn't a lot of drama at the end of games. And when he had to throw it down the field, they did, because the danger was that on that first touchdown drive, they were going to use up all the time, but got a couple of big pass plays to Larry Simmons. Got out of a 3rd and 22.
Is Larry Simmons? I have no idea what grade he's in. Because I wonder, middle of next year, are you going to ask Dolce and all this? How come they're not using Larry Simmons more?
Hadn't thought about that.
Who was the other guy you kept?
No idea. Sure, Yak will find the clip and then we'll all know.
That was Merriweather. Who was the tight end?
Caleb Rupp.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? I knew he'd know. He didn't forget that stuff. Don't get in the way of Larry Simmons' big moment.
I think that those are the types of passes that I expect him to complete, though. I mean, he didn't do anything out of the ordinary in the throw game. He piled up more yards than normal, but I think he can do that. I mean, it was his finest game, obviously, statistically.
Right. But I thought when they needed 20 yards and
but
the
he can do that.
Stuff.
He can do that. It's when you need 30, 40, 50. He can throw a 20-yard pass. He's not incompetent in that way. Not at all. I'm taking nothing away from him.
I don't think the 20-yard pass is a 20-yard pass by the time you drop back.
He can throw the ball 20 yards.
And you throw it deep in the end zone and you throw it to the sideline. That ball was in the air a long time. And it was on the money. Outside shoulder, away from the defender, in stride.
I think he can do it.
Yeah. Well, obviously he did.
I don't know that that's going to be his calling card, but I think he can. He didn't do anything in that game that just was out of his capability.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag BYU.
They're going to fake jet. Bear's going to keep up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown. Bear Bachmeier sets a new BYU quarterback single-season touchdown rushing record with his 11th score of the year. Get 2 hands on it or take it into the end zone. LJ with the TD. Okay. All right.
BYU goes to Cincinnati and wins 26-14. They are now 10-1, and if they beat UCF, they are going to the Big 12 title game. There are scenarios where they could lose and go, but why mess around with that?
Oh, I think LJ will take it in the end zone!
Well, there was nothing in the Utah game that I expected to happen, and it all happened, and it was surprising. The BYU game I thought was predictable and exactly the script they needed to win to get exactly the result they got. Found the ball on the ground, trust in Jay Hill's defense, and you look up and it's 26-14 and it's over.
Okay.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah State.
Utah State, two completely different games, down 17-7 at the half in Fresno. Everything going the Bulldogs' way, and the Aggies dominate the second half. 3 straight touchdowns, 21-zip in the second half. They win 28-17, and, man, talk about getting on one guy's shoulders and riding. It was Bryson Barnes throwing, Bryson Barnes running and running and running and throwing and running a few more times. Whatever limitations they had as far as how much they thought they could use him, and we talked to Bronco about going away from him in overtime at UNLV. They never went away from him against Fresno State. They rode that guy all the way to victory.
Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, there it is. Do it differently and just let him do his thing. And Bryson Barnes ends up running 23 times for 113 yards. That's a lot of carries. So now they're bowl eligible, 6-5, and they got Boise State at home to wrap up the regular season on Friday. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Back with a snap, he throws. No, he's going to be hit.
Oh, pick off.
Oh, on his way with an interception up the sideline. Running at the 50, the 45, the 40. The ball is pulled in, and that's going to be a pick six for the Panthers.
Manning back to pass, plenty of time. Throws downfield, it's a wide open Livingston. Catches it at the 10, waltzes into the end zone. It was Livingston throwing to Manning earlier. Now Manning returns it 54 yards for the Texas touchdown.
Kick away, nice one, going to be returnable. Vincent from the 16, left side, got room, 30, speed to the 40, sideline 50, sideline 40 the other way. He might go, he will, go away. Touchdown. Malik Benson, 84 yards, and Oregon is back on top.
Highlights from around college football. Oregon beating USC in a weekend when the favorites and the highly ranked teams won. USC was the highest ranked team to get beaten. Number 15 Trojans going to play Oregon, and they're playing a top 10 team on the road. Hung in there for a while, but got beat 42-27. It was a fairly predictable day of college football right there, PK.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon's ranked in the top 10. We have no idea if they're a top 10 team. I mean, that's their best win. Finally, they get something that you can point to.
They are 10-1. And they've beaten a lot of middle-of-the-road and bottom feeders in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
they kept the rivalry game with Oregon State on their schedule, and there's nothing to that. Oregon State's a mess.
They've beaten no teams that are any better than what BYU's beaten.
But they're in the Big Ten, so they're number 7.
Yeah, but they had their rep was established long before the Big Ten.
Yep.
You can't claim Big Ten on that one.
Walking into the Big Ten and winning it year number 1. Utah and BYU wanted Oklahoma to lose to Missouri. Not happening. Oklahoma's defense carries them to a 17-6 win. And Notre Dame 70-7 over Syracuse. So no help coming as all the big dogs win. Coach is getting fired, though. Cal let Justin Wilcox go after 9 years. Nick Rolovich is the interim head coach. Florida State announced that Mike Norvell will return next season, despite a 5-6 campaign. So he's back. Just too much money to let him go, I guess. And former Baylor coach Art Briles has been hired by Division II Eastern New Mexico as their head coach. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah Jazz.
It appeared to me that Keontae got fouled before the ball came in. That's not how it went. We had an extra timeout. It's loud. I yelled timeout twice while the ball was in, but once it was in and Keontae got it and shot, like, it just is what it is. That happens in 2.2 seconds. He gets the shot off. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough moment because it ends up being a scramble once Keontae hits the ground. To get ourselves in that position, we did a lot of good things. I thought the possession where we didn't call timeout and we went on the run, I thought Lowry got a great look right there at the top of the key. So I think there were a lot of good things that our team did to put ourselves in position to win, and it just didn't go our way.
Jazz lose twice over the weekend, blown out by Oklahoma City, 144-112 on Friday, and then they lose to the Lakers last night, 108-106. Doncic with 33 points. The Jazz with a late rally when they were down double digits and looked like it was all slipping away.
Well, that was the best situation that they could ask for.
Play the best game possible, and then
the crowd got excited, and then they can do their thing. Oh, we played hard, we never quit, that type of thing. You can complain about the refereeing, when clearly if they would have called that foul, if you were on defense, you would have said, how dare they call that foul? I mean, what more do you want?
Didn't mess up the draft pick, but played very well.
Yeah.
Keontae George leading the way with 27. Markkanen had 20. Heated up late, hit a couple of big threes, but missed a turnaround fadeaway at the free throw line that would have put him in front. Jazz are back out on the road. Golden State Warriors headed to San Francisco. Tip-off set for 8 o'clock tonight. Pre-game show starts at 7 with Jake Scott and Tim Lacombe here on The Zone. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
Houston Rockets star Kevin Durant will miss 2 games to attend to a family issue. Denver Nuggets announced that forward Aaron Gordon's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring strain.
Again, it's never 5 to 7.
Nope, 4 to 6. You want a 3 to 5 or 5 to 7, but they stick with the even numbers.
Yeah, I don't get it. The medical world, I've never understood it.
Klay Thompson called out Grizzlies guard Ja Morant for his numerous absences due to suspensions and injuries after they got into a pregame war of words. Klay said, he's a funny guy. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. We need our best players to be out there, and when you're a star, it comes with great responsibility. I hate to see that go to waste.
I thought that was profound.
Profound summary to all their trash talk back and forth.
Klay Thompson analyzing the situation, the trash talk, whatever, but analyzing Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Now, here's a kid with enormous individual athletic ability and has star ability.
Yep.
But all these things are getting in the way.
Yep. We need our best players to be out there, right?
He's talking from the league perspective.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true for teams and the league. You're right.
No, he's talking from the league. That's all he's talking about.
The best ability is availability, and he hasn't been available a lot over the last couple of years.
Ability is matured ability. He doesn't have any of it. And knock it off. It's not working. You're derailing yourself. You are a great player, but you're screwing it up. You're throwing it away. That's what Klay Thompson is a 30-some-year-old man. And Klay Thompson got busted for when he was in college, I think after the season and right before the draft for marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And his father, Michael, obviously played in the NBA, was down there when I was down there, said he screwed up and that will never happen again. Meanwhile, you got the other guy's father running around doing what he's doing. And Klay Thompson, I don't know if he smokes dope anymore, but all I know is it hasn't happened again. And Thompson's telling him, kid, get it together.
I hate to see that go to waste.
The trash talk, I have no interest in that. But the counsel that he's giving him, they should paste that up and put it in his locker.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
MJ Collins steals it and throws down a nasty one-handed dunk. Oh, wow. Parker Fredrickson has the ball stolen away. Collins with the steal and threw down a nasty right-handed hammer. Collins is looking for 40.
Collins the drive, the layup, he's got it, 40 points. MJ Collins, MJ's got 40. And the Aggie sideline erupts. They knew exactly the number he needed to get to, and now Luke Kearney set to check into the game.
Blowouts, PK. We had a ton of them.
Does Utah State play anybody? Is Stu Morrill over there thinking, would you guys beef up the schedule a little bit?
Utah State blows out Tulane 96-75 and Davidson 94-60.
When are they going to play somebody?
Don't know.
Bakersfield next?
Don't demean the Big West like... I get your point.
I mean, they got a good team, but I want to see how good they are.
Yeah, I get it. Another blowout. How about this? Seems like 3 years ago. You and I were at the Delta Center Friday afternoon, and BYU blowing out Wisconsin, and they did it with A.J. DeBonce on the bench with 4 fouls, and they'd been up by double digits at halftime, and it got down to 7, and DeBonce gets his 4th foul. He goes to the bench, and BYU goes on a run, and the league goes up over 20, and it's over.
Yeah, Saunders was awesome, man. Just hitting shots all over the place and driving, taking the ball to the basket. He's like, okay, I felt like it was last year. DeBonce is on the bench. This is my team again.
Yep. I can quit deferring and just take over.
Yeah, it was a nice win for him.
And Wisconsin
had nothing.
Had no answers.
Yeah.
Struggled to shoot it. Well, struggled to have it go in. They shot it plenty, but didn't go. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Korean slugger Sung Moon Song is being posted by the KBO to come to MLB. First baseman, third baseman. You just got to have global scouts these days, PK. This is
of course you do.
This is the NBA all over again.
Yeah, I can remember 5 years ago, late at night, watching the Korean Baseball League when people decided we couldn't do anything over here.
We were breaking it down on the show.
Yeah.
First league back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just wanted to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Because I'd never seen it on television. And obviously these kids can play baseball, some of them the best players. It's no longer a surprise. Now, we've had a number of Koreans. Dodger, they had a pitcher from Korea.
Jungle Park?
Yeah, he grooved one for Cal Ripken in the All-Star game on Cal's last year.
Let me tee one up for you.
Remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Fastball down the middle.
Right.
About belt high.
Right. And he hit it out.
Middle third of the plate.
Yeah.
If you can't hit this out, I can't help you.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've had, there is a little bit of a history there. Not as much as the Japanese league, but maybe this kid is a player.
DJ PK.
Hashtag golf.
Sammy Valimaki wins the RSM Classic 23 under. Zach Blair tied for 7th at 18 under. Patrick Fishburne tied for 34th at 14 under. Got to pick up the money and the points while you can, PK. Top 10 finish for Zach Blair. Good work.
Hey, money's money, man.
Yep. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
McBain zips it back up top. Schmidt opens fire, and no goal, and it's in. They score. Utah muscles one across the goal line to take a 1-0 lead here in the first. Centering pass in front for Yamamoto. Slap shot, DeSimone. They score. Nick DeSimone pulls Utah in front, and it's 3-2.
The Mammoth get 3 goals and they win. The losing streak is over. They had a lot of games where they can only score twice. They get the win 3-2. Third period goal to Nick DeSimone to win the game and snap the 2-2 tie. J.J. Paterka and Clayton Keller also scoring. And the Mammoth get the win. They're back in action tonight. Vegas Golden Knights back at the Delta Center. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. Pre-game 6 o'clock. The Mammoth will be on 1280 The Zone, and the Jazz will be on 97.5 The Zone tonight. What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up, Bronco Mendenhall joins us at 8:30. Shahan Jayaraja joins us at 9 o'clock to talk college football. The question of the day, hot takes or toast, coming up next.
It's game week for the Cougars, and the KSL Sports Zone is getting you ready for kickoff. The Cougars look to punch their ticket to the Big 12 title game as they wrap up the regular season at home against UCF. Listen all week long for the best coverage of Cougar football and your chance to win tickets to the game. Then catch College Football Saturday with a post-game show immediately following the game on KSLSports.com. Your home for the best coverage of BYU football is live on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Don't miss your chance to win big every week on the KSL Sports Zone. This week, win tickets to Nate Bargatze and his Big Dumb Eyes World Tour at the Delta Center December 4th, 5th, and 6th. Great seats still available at SeatGeek.com. Listen to the KSL Sports Zone all day Wednesday for your chance to win. All right, time for all the comments and all the... We got a ton of them, PK. The Utes, a comeback for the ages to stun Kansas State. How nuts was that game? So many comments. James, just needed to wait until it got dark. Utah's a much better home team at night. Played a game in
Well, I play so many games at night, though.
3. Texas Tech was a day game, Cal Poly was a day game, and this was a day game. He just limits it to home team, so.
Oh, home games.
Yeah. He says Utah is a much better home team at night.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that, but.
It certainly worked out for the 6 games this year, but. Yeah. 5 minus Cal Poly.
Yeah, in which they were going to, you can play that any time of
Play
the day.
that anytime you want, and that's going to be a blowout.
Right. It just was something that I've never seen from a Kyle Whittingham team, and even going back, Urban Meyer wasn't here long enough to draw any conclusions beyond that he was an excellent coach. But even for Ron McBride, there's a lot of similarities in what Ronnie Mack likes to do football-wise versus what Kyle Whittingham likes to do, and we've seen it now for Kyle Whittingham for what, is he in his 21st or 22nd year? And to see that amount of big plays allowed on the ground was just absolutely unheard of. The fact that they won, and that's great, and that's the ultimate objective. But we've seen them have some pretty good comebacks to win games or have some exciting games. They've had plenty of exciting games at Rice Eccles Stadium over the years. So I'm not really stunned about that because it's, I compare things to baseball. If you score 6 runs in the 7th inning, well, what's the difference? You got to get 27 outs. Here you got to play the game for 60 minutes. But the complexion and the way it happened was just something that you would have never thought possible. To a team that is so good against the run to have all these big runs. It's amazing. I guess that's probably the only way, if you're going to go a lot on the ground to beat Utah, is to almost like, I want to say fluke, but when you have 11 of them, how can they be flukes? And that one right before the end of the first half, 80 yards? Is one play? What the heck?
What are you doing?
And is the FBI going to investigate this game? What was going on there? It was beyond something that I had seen, comprehended, whatever we want to put in there. But yet, it happened, and you can sort of, in a sense, laugh about it. And for the seniors, Lander Barton, obviously homegrown kid here, that's his last moment. Then he goes up there and does his interview topless. That's a lot of confidence. Everybody else is in their uniforms because they usually they always go first. Kyle, he likes to freshen up sometimes. And then goes last. And the players almost all the time are still in full uni. Then they go shower and put on their clothes that they came to the stadium with, meet their families, and away they go. But he's up there doing that with no shirt on, and not he had some kind of necklace on, not like a lei. There's like some.
They call them like
thing.
Kakui nuts or something like that. Yeah,
they look cool.
They were colored.
And I'm happy for the kid. I told you my wife had him in the 6th grade as a teacher and a student, and she told me then, well, this kid's off the charts with his athletic ability. She'd always have him illustrate
demonstrate whatever
because she taught PE.
So every time they do a new sport, Lander, come here, let's show them how it's done.
Right.
And of course, in junior high.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty awesome as a college football player. So.
Yeah, and then one time his sister was playing in the beach volleyball tournament, and we were down there for Pac-12 media, and we stayed at the same hotel, and we walk in, and he walks in with his mother, who I've talked to her a million times, was a great athlete herself, and he looks at her, and he says, "What are you doing here?" And she looks at him and says, "What are you doing here?" And he was just a young kid at the time, so it's cool to have a local kid get the interception right at the end, someone who we've literally seen grow up. And so the seniors, and there's several guys, the Fonnell brothers and Lomu, they all were recognized on senior day. They're not seniors.
But if it's your last game.
Yeah, and Kyle has said, they said that last week, if there's any chance that you won't come back, go ahead and do your thing. And I would think that certainly Spencer and Caleb, they've been tagged as first-round picks. I think Fonnell's a junior, and the other one, Loam, was a redshirt sophomore, so he could have a couple more years. But when Spencer Fonnell is being helped off the field towards the end of the game, that's the very reason why you go.
Go sign the contract,
yes.
get the money, get on with it already.
Yes.
The NAL money's awesome, but it's not as awesome as NFL money.
Right.
Much bigger stacks of money over there.
And offensive line, obviously you're having collisions every single play you're out there. And Logan, he's a big kid too. And then maybe he could probably play in the NFL. So that was a fine opportunity. And in a manner now for them, they may look back and say, wow, that's a game nobody will ever forget. And if they would have beat them 24-10, it would have been nice, but it would have been lost in the memory.
Yeah.
Now everybody will remember this game.
Nobody's forgetting that.
Yeah.
Thing. Jaden, I cannot believe the Ute defense allowed nearly 500 yards rushing and still won. It's got a little surprised emoji face. That is the essence of it right there. I can't believe they were that bad in that phase of the game and still won.
I'm not shocked that they won. Because if they would have allowed 500 yards, almost 470, whatever it was, on the ground more conventionally, then they wouldn't have had opportunities. But because they were so quick.
They got the ball back.
Yeah.
And there were more possessions in the game.
Right.
Yeah. Your strategery there, that's well read.
If you go within the context of how it happened.
The average, you look at the stats, it looks like they averaged 10 yards a carry. If they'd literally gotten 10 yards on every carry, it would have shortened the game and they wouldn't have had time to come back.
Right. Yeah, they would have had one possession in the second quarter or whatever it might be. So, in a sense, having that happen was not that stunning. And I think lost in this is another prolific game by the offense.
51 points.
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And this offense has been doing this consistently. If you do it 5-6 times, it's not a fluke. It's who you are. And this offense, Jason Beck's sitting over here thinking, hey, what about us? Are we talking about them and their screw-ups? Look what we did. And look what we've been doing. And he's right. Not that he would say that, but if he did, it would be right. The offense did what they needed to do. Again.
That's 8 games of 40 points or more this year.
That's awesome.
8 out of 11.
This Dampier is essentially did what he did in New Mexico. The season's basically done now.
But he's doing it with a better defense against better competition.
Right.
Yeah.
In a sense, it doesn't really matter what happens Friday. I think pretty much their fate is sealed. Now, obviously, they want to go 10-2. I get it. But I don't think that it would make that significant.
You want to win the
difference.
game, but Vegas Bowl. You're not going to the Big 12 title game. You're not going to the playoff. You're going to the Vegas Bowl. Win or lose, I think.
Okay, fine. Whatever bowl. It makes no difference to me. Whatever it might be. Yeah, and they're going to – I would assume they would win. I watched Kansas. They didn't look very good the other day. And there's no reason to think that the Utes won't win, and they'll have an excellent season, 10-2. And they honored everybody who deserved to be honored with the possibility of one person.
Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah. Right.
He got choked up talking about the seniors' last game. Did it occur to everybody that maybe he was getting choked up because he was thinking it was also his last game?
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be honored.
Right.
Just
slip out the back, Jack. Drop off the key, Lee.
It's interesting that you use song lyrics. is that,
speaks to him.
And that may be something that he was doing last night. We'll leave it at that.
More reaction pouring in here from Ute fans. Steve, yet at the end of the day, it means nothing.
I disagree.
It was wildly entertaining.
Well,
don't you go to the games to have fun?
Sure, but you had a slew of recruits there. Mm-hmm. That is so narrow thinking. College football is a perpetual build.
More than ever. That was always true.
Yes.
And I think you would argue that something could be more true, but I think it's more true now.
Well, because kids can come and be eligible immediately.
Yep.
Yes. So, no. 10-2. Because you could argue that that's probably a BYU fan who's thinking, well, they're not going to go to the title game. They're not going to go to the playoff. Okay. Well, if BYU doesn't go to the playoff, does Cincinnati's game mean nothing? Does a 11-1 season mean nothing? Of course it doesn't. I don't know what's going to happen, and I wouldn't say that they're a lock. I think it's a joke. I think if you go 11-2 and 11-1, you ought to be in the friggin' playoff. I think that's ridiculous to think that you wouldn't be in. And especially when the standard has been established, all you got to do is look good because you're being criticized for not looking good against Texas Tech. So the flip side of that, you can't have one without the other. The flip side is all you got to do is go to Arlington and look good.
The flip side is they're not in the Big Ten or the SEC, and the game is rigged.
I don't know if the game is rigged.
The Big Ten and the SEC have set up the playoff game.
Oh, the format is rigged.
The format, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You had me nervous there for a second.
No, not the actual game. No,
okay.
no.
Well,
no, it should, yeah, I know. I get your point. There have been enough gambling scandals lately. You can't really assume people don't know that's what you're talking about. No, it's just if you're in this league and you have one loss, you're at the bottom of the one-loss teams. Utah gets a ton of respect, so they're in the middle of the two-loss teams, not at the bottom of the two-loss teams. That qualifies as a ton of respect in the Big 12.
Right, but then what you're doing is you're giving I keep saying El Paso with Texas Tech. I don't know why. You're giving Texas Tech respect because the team that they beat, you don't have respect for them. That doesn't make any sense.
They have to let one team in, so they just, all right, Tech.
Yeah, but you'll see what their seed, though. Where are they seated? If they're seated in the top 4, that's respect.
Yeah, they'd have to move them in front of some one-loss teams then.
I know.
I guess they do have them in front of Oregon now. That's true. So they do
They've
have
been
them
in front of Oregon for a bit.
2 weeks now.
So you're going to give them respect for a team you don't respect.
Right.
As we say back in South Jersey, come on.
Back in South Jersey. You're trying to move the Eagles back in South Jersey.
Not
even talking college football.
Yeah, and on. That's the way they talk. A little bit different from North Jersey.
Okay.
Ours is, come bleeping on! You go a little more north. So, it's crazy. But no, 10-2, it doesn't mean nothing or anything. That's ridiculous. That's a fine season, and that's a fine football team, and it's a fine football program. And somebody creates some format, that doesn't determine how good you are. Somebody's format, somebody's beauty contest. No, I will never acknowledge that. I will go to my grave protesting that.
DJ PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. All right, there's some serious takes, and we'll get to the rivalry smack talk. We'll do that next. DJ PK, it's 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
It's game week for the Utes, and the KSL Sports Zone is getting you ready for kickoff. After one of the craziest, most bizarre games in Utah history, Kyle Whittingham and the Utes hit the road for the regular season finale in Lawrence against the Kansas Jayhawks. Listen all week long for the best coverage of Utah football on KSLSports.com.
Let's go then. Let's go, baby.
Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is live on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The band of the day is Queen. Frontman Freddie Mercury dying on this day in 1991. It's brought to you by Live Nation. For all the live concerts and events in 2025, check out livenation.com. Utah with a crazy 51-47 come-from-behind win over Kansas State. And PK, this is bound to bring out the rivalry talk.
Of course.
Frank, this just shows the Utes really aren't that good. 5-5 team runs up and down the field. Utes were lucky to win that one, while the big brother down south just keeps on winning.
Yeah, and they needed a late interception to beat a 3-8 Colorado team.
And Baylor Green went right back at them. Just like a 3-point win over a Colorado team that Utah beat by 43 points, right?
So that was easy.
Yeah, that was. There's winning and there's losing. Make sure you're over in the winning category.
Yeah, because I think games sometimes you just can't predict or see something coming, and yet it does. And that's two examples. And maybe Colorado at that time didn't realize how bad they were. And Kansas State is inexplainable. It's actually inexplainable how mediocre Kansas State is. They should be better. I mean, they should have never allowed that to happen. Yet it did. I think they've got, who do they got? I think they got Colorado this week, to get bowl eligible.
I think you're right.
Themselves. So, and that was a tough one for them to swallow. But the Utes, I mean, they had some magic going on. Knowing that their offense is capable of putting up a bunch of points, I think that was something that sustained them. And then the reality is the defense sucks, but they got the most critical stop they need. Once Utah scores and then makes it a one-possession game.
The defense has its best series.
Yeah, 3 and out.
Yeah.
Right. And once they got 3 and out, they're going to win. They got all the momentum now.
They got all the momentum, and it's just like the Kansas State had the ball. It looked like they were playing not to turn it over.
Yeah. Now, that last possession, the interception, you're up against the clock. That's not all things being equal. The prior possession, so the penultimate, with Ute fans, that means next to last. That possession, you had enough time. Each team had enough time to do whatever they needed to do to win the game, and you couldn't even get a first down. Couldn't even get a first down. And if you would have got a couple of first downs, at the very least, you require Utah to use their timeouts, and even if you get at least one first down, then you can get 3 more plays or 4 more plays because they would have used all their timeouts, and they would have been up against the clock. But no, it wasn't. It was barely even a 2-minute drill. So they sucked the whole game, except when they absolutely needed it, they got it.
It doesn't make any sense. And yet there you are.
Well, they reverted back to what we know about them at that point.
Got amped up.
And they did what they needed to do. So you got to give them credit for that.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. When we come back, BYU, big road win number 10. We'll get your reaction to that next. Stay with us.